Stephen Miller was saying in that segment yesterday, which we have a clip of, which was amazing and well worth your time to watch all 10 minutes, that all three
phenomenal
pieces of the Alien Enemies Act allow the president to act here. Yes, there has been a war declared on the United States by these countries, he said, including Venezuela when it comes to their gangs, and they've committed an invasion, and there's been something less than an invasion, an incursion on the territory of the United States, all three of which would activate the Alien Enemies Act, which allows the president to do this. Here's a little bit of the Stephen Miller, Cassie Hunt exchange yesterday, SOT 11.
Masterclass.
You're not hearing me and you're not understanding me. Read the statute, Alien Enemies Act, 1798. It says if a predatory incursion is perpetrated by a foreign government, so it lists three qualifying actions. It could be an act of war.
It does say in the very beginning there has to be a declared war against a nation or a state. That's what it says.
No, wrong. Look up the statute. It's on my account on social media.
That's actually where we found it.
Yes. It says, good. Or a predatory incursion, or an invasion. The statute delineates three criteria for triggering the Alien Enemies Act. A district court judge can no more enjoin the expulsion of foreign terrorists to foreign soil, that he can direct the movement of Air Force One, that he can direct the movement of an aircraft carrier.
It was amazing. And what was so especially great about it was, what is it, Steve? Is it Cassie or Casey? I don't, we've talked about this person before, but Casey. Okay, it's Casey. But look, she was too dumb to get it. I'm just going to say it. She was not smart enough to handle the truth bombs that Stephen Miller was unleashing.
No, she can't handle it.
No, and you could see it. She just, every moment of the thing was her attempting to do a gotcha. But are we at war? Are we at war with Venezuela? Are we, Stephen? It's like, he was so far out of her league. He kept trying to explain it to her. She couldn't quite grasp it. She was just looking for her gotcha moment, and she couldn't get there.
She obviously had a producer or two in her ear trying to keep up with Stephen Miller, because that's about how smart Stephen Miller is. It takes about 4 liberal women producers at CNN to be even able to be competitive with Stephen Miller. And they couldn't even get it right. They couldn't even get it right because they couldn't even read the sentence. And Stephen made an incredibly important point here, which is, and it wasn't in that piece of tape, which is that the president does not even need to acknowledge this district court decision. Yeah, the Supreme Court will rule on it eventually, but it is well settled in American law that anything that comes to foreign policy is directly under the President of the United States. We did not doubt, for example, that Joe Biden had the ability to do a disastrous withdrawal of Afghanistan. We hated what he did. We hated how he did it, but he has that power. I mean, it's very simple. He could do it. And I want to just get back to this point, though, that the very cheerleaders for democracy, you notice they don't talk about the threats to democracy very much anymore. They've kind of silenced on that entire talking point the last 6 months. But the very people that are saying that they're for democracy are now wanting unelected institutions to slow down the will of the American people and to completely stop it. Their goal is to try to throw sand in the gears. Right now, we have a record amount of injunctions. If you want to know my greatest concern about Trump 2.0, it is not the sophistication of his staff. It is amazing. Versus Trump 1.0, I mean, the president, he just looks so centered and composed and happy. Seeing him at the Kennedy Center, I mean, he's in rare form. His staff is phenomenal. They're executing on every element and every item. No, my greatest concern is that their ambitious plans to deliver on the promises that the president made for the American people and that they are helping to put into practice will not be possible because a group of people in black robes that nobody voted for are going to make this go piece by piece and bit by bit. And yes, we do have the U.S. Supreme Court. And again, praise the Lord that President Trump was able to get 3 Supreme Court justices. 2 of them pretty good. 1 of them is suspicious. But I think even Amy Coney Barrett, despite her recent, let's just say posturing, is going to rule favorably on this. And again, the big takeaway is the slowdown of the Trump administration, everything from Doge to the southern border, and then eventually these district court judges are, imagine President Trump talking to Vladimir Putin, it's going to break the internet, everyone's going to be talking about it. Can a district court judge say, you know what, actually Russia and Ukraine, the war must continue. Actually, the Israel-Gaza conflict must continue. This is the exact same thing that we are talking about here. It has to deal with matters of foreign policy and enemy invasion, and a law is on the books. And it is worth repeating that, they say it's this 200-year-old law, but what they're really getting at is that which is old must be discarded. You see, we as conservatives believe that which is old and that which lasts is actually beautiful and worthy of studying because it's a reflection of human nature. And even though the times change, human nature does not change. That's why the Constitution is the longest lasting political document of its kind. Because it was not written about that, Charlie, for the times. It was written to stand the test of time.
The other thing about that is it is truly like the boy who kills his parents and then begs for mercy on the grounds that he's an orphan. They're in there saying it's 200 years old. It's only been invoked 3 times during, actual wars, hard wars. Hot wars. But they're the ones who allowed some 10 to 20 million illegals, criminals in many instances, on top of the illegal entry, to come into this country over the past 4 years. The most extraordinary thing we've seen in a century when it comes to illegal immigration in this country. And now when President Trump does something extraordinary to combat it, which is to declare an invasion, to declare an incursion, that now they turn around and say, well, you're using antiquated law. What are you doing? This is extraordinary. Like, this has only been used yes, you created the circumstances that made this necessary. The thing that's so galling about this judge and that exchange with Casey Hunt yesterday was she kept saying to Stephen Miller, what court can review it? Okay, what court can review it? Then what court can review it if this district court cannot do it? And the answer is no court can review it, Casey. No court. Not the Supreme Court, not the appellate court, not the district court. Exactly. That's the answer. There is no court, including the highest court in the land, that has jurisdiction over this. And in part, yes, there's the issue of his foreign policy powers alone, but in part is because of the words of the Alien Enemy Act as interpreted by the U.S. Supreme Court after it was passed. They held as follows. I read this yesterday. It stands. This is not reversed. The U.S. Supreme Court held the Alien Enemy Act precludes, meaning stops, doesn't allow, judicial review of the removal order. This is the Supreme Court deciding a case after World War II had ended. Such great war powers may be abused, no doubt, but that is a bad reason for having judges supervise their exercise, whatever the legal formulas within which such supervision would nominally be confined, the Supreme Court majority declared. Accordingly, we hold that full responsibility for the just exercise of this great power may validly be left where the Congress has constitutionally placed it, on the President of the United States. That's the law. Casey, not the Supreme Court, not the appellate court beneath it, and not Judge Boasberg. You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is already sinking, and you don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit all-time highs already this year. It's not too late for you, too, and you could have Birch Gold help you diversify into physical gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold for no money out of pocket. One recent 5-star review said Birch Gold was, quote, knowledgeable, helpful, non-pressure. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the letters MK to the number 989898. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, just text MK to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.